From the horse capital of the world, the great city of Lexington, Kentucky, welcome to Red Barn Radio. Wherever in the world you're listening, join us as we celebrate the music and artists of Kentucky. Tonight, Red Barn Radio presents a concert performance with Grayson Jenkins. Coming up on Red Barn Radio.
I've seen 1,000 sunsets that painted all the skies, and I've watched a blue moon dance on a clear Kentucky night, and I've seen the stars burning 1,000,000 miles high, but I've never seen nothing like your eyes. I could roam the rest of my life searching for something that made me feel just right. I don't know what I'd find, but this much is true: there's not a wonder in this world like you. No, there's not a wonder in this world like you. I felt the Mississippi roll between my toes, watched it drift on south into the Gulf of Mexico, and I felt those torrent waters, baby, mighty and bold. But your love is the strongest thing that I've known. I could roam the rest of my life searching for something that made me feel just right. And I don't know what I'd find, but this much is true: there's not a wonder in this world like you. No, there's not a wonder in this world like you. I could roam the rest of my life searching for something that made me feel just right. And I don't know what I'd find, but this much is true: there's not a wonder in this world like you. No, there's not a wonder in this world like you. Said there's not a wonder in this world like you. 2, 3, 4.
Red Barn Radio is brought to you with the financial support of Visit Lex, Lexington, Kentucky's Convention and Visitors Bureau. Planning to visit Lexington or just looking for more information, Visit Lex is on the web at visitlex.com. We're more than just bluegrass. Lex Arts, Lexington, Kentucky's Arts Council, creating a great American city inspired by the arts. We'd like to thank Sim's Pizzeria and Soda Fountain for supplying food each week for our musical guests and volunteers. Chef Greg Scott and Sim's Pizzeria and Ice Cream Parlor is located just minutes from Lexington in historic Wilmore, Kentucky. For more information, see Sim's Pizzeria and Soda Fountain on Facebook. The Bourbon Barrel Guitar Company and their master craftsman Mike Mankel, who creates amazing artistic and functionally superior electric guitars from reclaimed bourbon barrels. Mike's on Facebook and also on the web at bourbonbarrelguitar.com. The Twisted Cork, Lexington's only drive-through full-service liquor store and bar. They feature craft beer, wine, and all your favorites. The Twisted Cork has live music Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday nights and hosts the Red Barn Radio Open Mic every Sunday evening, located at Partner Place just off Clays Mill Road. For more information, they're on the web at twistedcorklex.com. Room 17 Productions, a nonprofit organization telling the story of Professor Emeritus Sarah Holroyd and promoting music education through oral history, preservation, and live performance. For more information, Room 17 Productions is on the web at room17productions.com. The rest is history. The Griffin Gate Marriott Resort and Spa is Red Barn Radio's guest accommodation partner, providing hotel accommodations for our musical guests. Located in the heart of bluegrass, horse, and bourbon country, the Griffin Gate Marriott Resort and Spa is the ideal choice for your next visit to Lexington, Kentucky.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Red Barn Radio. I'm Renee Collins, and along with Brad Becker, we are here to welcome you to Red Barn Radio's 578th live concert performance, now in our 16th broadcast season. Tonight, we are so pleased to present another night of great live music with a return visit from Grayson Jenkins. Grayson is a native of the rolling hills and coal mining communities of rural western Kentucky. He is a singer-songwriter who now calls Lexington, Kentucky his home. Grayson's music reflects his influences from all genres, whether it's country, blues, rock, or bluegrass. His lyrics are inspired by the words of Mark Twain, who always said, "Write what you know." Please welcome Grayson Jenkins to the Red Barn stage.
Sometime Sunday morning, I stumbled from my bed, afraid of what the mirror might say to me. And memories of you so strong, a classic case of love gone wrong. Maybe someday I'll get it right. Somewhere in Kentucky, there's a man who's feeling lucky, sleeping with a woman that once was mine. Somewhere two lovers lie, together side by side, in a place that once was mine. When I see you on the street, I wonder why you don't speak. Guess some broken hearts never mend, and things I wish I'd said, they feel as empty as my bed. Maybe someday I'll get it right. Somewhere in Kentucky, there's a man who's feeling lucky, sleeping with a woman that once was mine. Somewhere two lovers lie, together side by side, in a place that once was mine. Somewhere in Kentucky, there's a man who's feeling lucky, sleeping with a woman that once was mine. And somewhere two lovers lie, together side by side, in a place that once was mine. In a place that once was mine. Thank you.
It's a great job. Thank you so much. And let me turn the show over to you for a while. So here's Brad Becker to speak more with Grayson Jenkins.
Thanks, Renee. Grayson, nice to see you again.
Good to see you again too, man.
Hey, before we talk about what's been happening in your life since I saw you last, maybe you could just tell folks a little bit about the place where you grew up and how that shaped you.
I grew up in Muhlenberg County, Kentucky. Has anybody ever been there? A few folks? Okay. There you go. Yeah, Muhlenberg County in western Kentucky. Every place I go, people ask, is that the place about the John Prine, from the John Prine?
Yeah, I imagine they do say that.
Which is not a bad thing.
And is it just the way that John Prine depicts it?
Pretty close. We shot some pop bottles. There were snakes. And there were coal trains. It's a pretty place. There's really good people there. I feel fortunate after having traveled a lot to different places to be where I'm from. I've traveled to a lot of places that I love, but there's something special about where you grow up and what it means to you. And so I feel fortunate to have grown up there.
Did you have family members who were in the coal business?
Yes, my dad was a coal miner. My brother is a coal miner currently. He works underground. He's a mechanic. So yeah, definitely grew up in a coal family and tobacco too. My mom's whole side of the family was really big into the tobacco farms, and then with the buyout, kind of had to repurpose and find other work and repurpose the land.
Drove all night on the 4-lane, crossed the river by sunrise, headed east to the bluegrass with only shadows left behind. About a year ago in July, I was driving the other way, headed out for my new life in another town, another state. Sometimes in life you make it when you take off on your own, but tonight I had to leave it all in Lincoln, 'cause tonight it's time for me to go back home. Seeing strangers on the corner can make you start to change yourself. And now when I look in the mirror, I see a stranger in myself. Sometimes in life you make it when you take off on your own, but tonight I had to leave it all in Lincoln, 'cause tonight it's time for me to go back home. Sometimes in life you make it when you take off on your own, but tonight I had to leave it all in Lincoln. Yeah, tonight I had to leave it all in Lincoln, 'cause tonight it's time for me to go back home. Yeah, tonight it's time for me to go back home. Yeah, tonight it's time for me to go back home. Yeah, tonight it's time for me to go back home.
Thank you.
You have some pretty strong recollections of being a young person and your dad coming home from work, things like that?
Yeah, because he worked a lot of 12-hour shifts, and so you better shut up and go to bed, kind of, because if he would come in and we were rowdy, that was not the most enjoyable thing when he had to get up at 4:30 or whatever for work. And yeah, he would come in dirty, and it was a hard day's work. And so I feel really fortunate to get to play music, which is a lot less physically straining on the body as what he did to earn a living to feed a family.
You have siblings?
I do. I have a sister who lives here in Lexington, and then my brother, like I said, is a coal miner. He's back home, and also have stepbrother and stepsister and two half-sisters, so big family.
All right.
Lots of cousins. And so I don't get back as often as I probably should or do, but when we do get together, it's a good time.
When you were growing up, were things kind of tight around the house, or did you all have good enough means to do what you wanted to do? And
Yeah, good enough means to do what we wanted to do. I don't think, I would say we were definitely lower middle class, and looking back now, it's like, man, we didn't really have a whole lot of money. But at the time, I never knew it. We had a farm. We raised goats, and so I was out there doing that and just completely enthralled with whatever I was into. So I never knew the difference between, like, having the nicest shoes or any of that stuff. It wasn't really till I went to college that I was like, okay, yeah, we might have been a little lower on the poverty scale.
Was college education part of your family values, or was that sort of a departure for you from some of the values that were at the core for your family?
I would say a bit of a departure. My stepmother has a 4-year degree. My mom had an associate's, but I was really the first one from my family, blood-related, that went off to college. My sister went 4 years before me, but first generation, that went off to a 4-year university. So it was definitely different, especially Lexington, which is 2.5 hours away.
Yeah.
So that was, I viewed it as kind of Gotham City whenever I was in. The first time I drove up here, I didn't have a GPS, and I got lost as soon as I got to town. I went to the first Walmart and spent whatever money I had on a GPS because I was terrified to be lost.
Little Junior Walker walking down the street. He's headed down to the speedy for a bite to eat. We go to display and a scruffy chin. He come running over with a big old grin, and he said, boy, you know that everybody wants a bigger piece of the pie. They'll screw you over in the blink of an eye. Me, I'm happy out here, just barely getting by. Oh, by the way, do you have a dime? Said he used to have a good job and be cool. He had him a family and a good wife too. Until one day it came crashing down. Those Lehman Brothers spun him around and made him look like a clown. And you know that everybody wants a bigger piece of the pie. They'll screw you over in the blink of an eye. Me, I'm happy out here, just barely getting by. Oh, by the way, do you have a dime? Just like I learned every Sunday, the good Lord can give and He can take away. You better do what you want, 'cause you're not promised anything, no, not a thing. 'Cause everybody wants a bigger piece of the pie. And they'll screw you over in the blink of an eye. Me, I'm happy out here, just barely getting by. Oh, by the way, do you have a dime? Do you have a dime?
Thank you.
Was it a small high school that you went to?
Yeah, I think I graduated with about 120. We started with 150 something, and then I think 120 of us graduated or so. So it was mid-sized, I guess, compared to some other Kentucky high schools.
And when did you set your eyes on moving away, and was that challenging?
Yeah, it was. When I Went into high school, I probably thought that I would do what the rest of my family had done, which was get a job locally or maybe get some type of trade degree. But I went to and had an opportunity to go to the Governor's Scholar program here in Kentucky, and that totally changed everything. I was just thinking the other day how much of an impact those 6 weeks had on me. That was between my junior and senior year of high school. And so I met people from all over the state who were a lot different than some of the people that I grew up with. And then after that, that allowed me to get a full tuition scholarship at UK. And so it was a no-brainer at that point to.
Did you just say what it was that impacted you most about Governor Scholar Program? It was that you were with just a whole different group of people, a real diverse group of people?
I'll never forget, my roommate was Pakistani, and it was likely one of the first Middle Eastern people I'd ever had a conversation with, which was crazy to look back and think about how sheltered we really were. But yeah, that was a totally different experience for me, and just the people I met. I met people from Louisville and Lexington who had totally different upbringings than what I had in Western Kentucky. And so that allowed me to think, okay, I can do this. I'm, on the same level as these people. I can go out and do these things. I can go to a 4-year university. I can play music. I can do these things.
Did their emphasis at Governor Scholars Program go into arts at all, or what exactly happens there in terms of coursework?
So you're assigned a major, and then you have a seminar, which is basically like a minor. And there's no grades or anything, it was probably the least stressful time in my life. But you're on this college campus. I was at Center College in Danville, which is a beautiful little campus. So my major was environmental studies, and we would go on trips to see like Natural Bridge. We went to Cave Run Lake. We would go out, and our teacher, who was a high school biology teacher, he would take us around on trips. And then a little bit different for me, much different, was my seminar, which was creative writing, which I thought was pretty silly at the time. And I had never written any songs or even thought about it, but I was pretty bored in that class. And looking back, it's like I wish I would have taken a little more advantage of some of the stuff they were trying to teach us.
So you had not really gotten yourself into doing much music before the time that you went to Governor Scholar?
Right, yeah, I didn't really start playing a lot of music until my freshman year of college, because it's like the old thing, you go to college and there's some guy playing a guitar, and that's what everybody likes to listen to. And so I had a roommate that played, and he would teach me stuff. So that's really when I got the bug. I had always liked music, but hadn't really been playing that long.
I'm just a young man, that's what I'm told. This life I'm living makes me feel pretty old. There's talking heads on every show, at every hour ringing a telephone. I think I'd be better off somewhere out there alone. I think I'll let go and let the wind take my soul where it needs to blow, right down the open highway to places I don't know. Yeah, I'll let go. There's a voice I hear calling me out west to a town where I can breathe and forget about the rest. The rush and rush of this daily life provides me all my means, but at what price? Sometimes I feel like I've never really been alive. I think I'll let go and let the wind take my soul where it needs to blow, right down the open highway to places I don't know. To blow right down the open highway to places I don't know. Yeah, and I'll
This is a song, a new song that I'm still kind of working out. I was trying to decide whether to put it on the set list or not, but it's about this strip of Main Street in my hometown, and you pass by one of the churches I went to for a while growing up, and so it's the church sign that you see every time you go to town.
Best Way dry cleaners down on the main strip. I've waited 12 hours to smoke this cigarette. Makes for a long day, but hell, I like to work. Drive uptown hill like I do every night. On my way home, down at the coal mine, there sits that church sign. It's glowing again. Says you get what you deserve, and people get what they put in. Sometimes a man don't get to choose what he wants to do. He just works his ass off, and he packs his lunch, and he ties up his boots. At least that's what I do. Well, I guess I could have run away to another town in a better place. Oh, but gas ain't getting cheaper, and running sure as hell doesn't pay. There sits the deputy right through the four-way. He waves me on by, 'cause I'm clean nowadays. It's been 3 years now since they let me out again. Guess you get what you deserve, and people get what they put in. Well, sometimes a man don't get to choose what he wants to do. He just works his ass off, and he packs his lunch, and he ties up his boots. At least that's what I do. Well, I guess I could have run away to another town in a better place. Oh, but gas ain't getting cheaper, and running sure doesn't pay.
Coming up, more Red Barn Radio with Grayson Jenkins. Recorded live from the Performance Hall at Arts Place in Lexington, Kentucky. We're back with more of Grayson Jenkins after this break. This is Red Barn Radio.
That thought for another day.
Welcome back. Tonight, we're with Grayson Jenkins. Recorded live from the Performance Hall at Arts Place in Lexington, Kentucky. This is Red Barn Radio.
I woke up flat on my back, bourbon stain in the bottom of my glass. 2 p.m. knocking at the door. Wish I could say I hadn't been here before. another day.
Thank you.
Ultimately made his way to Lexington. When you got here, you really hadn't done much in the way of music.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
Got a starter guitar when I was in 8th grade and learned G, C, and D, and then put it down for all of high school.
Where'd you get the guitar from?
There was a local music store that was open for a few years, and it was $99 for the guitar, the gig bag, the chord book, the capo. I think that was about it. I still have it. I never got rid of it, but it's a pretty bad guitar.
Keep it, though.
It was, yeah, it didn't make it too fun to learn on because it was like an inch to push down the strings. It was kind of hard.
So you put it down.
Put it down, did track and field and cross country and fixed up a truck and did all the things that high schoolers do, and didn't think much about music.
Did you have a knack for running, and do you still do some running?
Not as much as I should. I always tell people that I ran track about 20 pounds ago. But yeah, I was all right. We had a really good 4x8 team that got third in the state, and so we were pretty good for a small town.
Did you have any aspiration to run after high school?
I considered it for about a day to go to a smaller school, and I was like, why would I ever want to do that? So, especially when UK was on the table, and yeah, I put my interests and focus in other places after that. But still enjoy running. I still enjoy trying to be active.
Yeah, good.
Hey, don't you wish we could take a rocket ship to the moon and on past, and turn around and look back? If we were that far away, we'd see that we're the same. We're all little people working to get by, all playing the game of life. We're all just living to die, and in this game you get one try. We've got brothers and sisters and fathers and mothers from Iran to LA. There's a lot more to them and you and me than just the color of our face. No matter which God you serve, put down your guns and love one another, 'cause we're all little people working to get by, all playing the game of life. We're all just living to die, and in this game you get one try. Yeah, we're all little people working to get by, all playing the game of life. Yeah, we're all out here just living to die, and in this game you get one try. Yeah, we're all really one of a kind, and in this game you get one try. Hey, don't you wish we could take a rocket ship
How'd you get bit by the music bug?
I always loved music, and when I was working on the farm by myself, I would always sing. My mom would take me to this smoky little restaurant. There's no drinking at the time in my county, and we would go do karaoke like on a Friday night. And so,
The two of you?
yeah. So
All right.
those are special memories for me. And I would like wear a Johnny Cash shirt and like some cool hat, go sing whatever song. So that was, I guess, my first time performing, which is really funny to think back on. When I moved to college and started seeing people playing guitar around, and I thought it was really cool, and they were always the coolest guys at the party, coolest guys and girls. And I was like, I want to be in that crowd if I can. So yeah, I guess sophomore, junior year is really when I got into it, and then by junior, senior year, I was practicing a lot and got my first gig my senior year of college at the Jessamine County Public Library. I went and played on a Sunday afternoon, and my sister took me to Cracker Barrel to celebrate. I was so nervous.
Were you really?
Yeah, so nervous. There's a photo somewhere, but this would have been, I guess, 2012, and so that was my first show, and then had the bug ever since.
When you come in, feet dragging the floor, you say you've had a bad day, can't take any more. Well, baby, I know this life can be hard. Just for tonight, won't you jump in my arms? I wanna give you a whirl, spin you around, talk about running right out of this town. I'm still your man, you're still my girl. Well, I'm gonna give you a whirl. This downtown life, it ain't good for no one. It rattles your soul till it comes undone. We're battered and bruised, we've been fighting too much. Won't you take me by the hand? Let me come pick you up. I wanna give you a whirl, spin you around, talk about running right out of this town. I'm still your man, you're still my girl. Well, I'm gonna give you a whirl, and I'll sweep you off your feet, and I'll tell you what you mean to me, and I'll be your everything and your all. Girl, I'll never let you fall. I wanna give you a whirl, spin you around, talk about running right out of this town. I'm still your man, you're still my girl, and I'm gonna give you a whirl. Yeah, I'm still your man, you're still my girl, I'm gonna give you a whirl. I'm gonna give you a whirl.
Thank you.
Are you a comfortable performer?
It's much easier walking into a place you've been before. I will say that. There's always a little nervous energy. If you're going into a place, you don't know the sound guy, you don't know the setup, and And then things like this, when you see the red light come on, where you're like, okay, it's on the radio, it's being filmed. That's a little more tense than just walking in a bar and playing a set that might have some cell phones, but other than that, it's probably not being documented too much.
Who are some people that shaped you as you started to develop as a performing musician?
Greg Austin, yes.
Tell us about him.
There used to be a bar downtown called Redmond's, which had a pretty good name, Larry Redmond. And I would go down to watch Sunday Best, who have come to be good friends of mine, and I would go watch them, and Greg Austin played before them. And that was the first time I'd ever heard Greg. He has a pretty interesting story, but I guess long story short, he used to travel all over the place and spend a lot of time in Texas, and so he has kind of this Texas troubadour thing about him that was just kind of entrancing for me. And he had the smoke machine, and so he would be in this big trench coat with the glasses on, and he would play these old songs, and he would play Paradise by John Prine. And so, yeah, he was one of the first performers I really looked up to. And then the energy that the Sunday Best guys brought kind of allowed me to think, okay, this is something I could do. You know, these are guys playing at the local bar, and they do it as well as anybody that I'd heard.
Did you develop a relationship with Greg?
Yeah, years down the road, when Redmond's closed, Henry Clay's Public House, the bar I play at a lot, and where I cut my teeth, he started to open up there. And so he plays every Friday and Saturday from like 8:30 to 10:30, and then the late night act goes on at 11. And so I developed a relationship with him through that, and so we text. And then the first time I heard his song Somewhere in Kentucky, and he gave me a copy of it on vinyl, I listened to it about 100 times that day. And then when we got ready to record an album, I asked him if we could do that, and that just made his day. And yeah, we've developed a pretty cool relationship, and I don't see him enough as we're playing out of town more, but Greg's a special, special guy.
I've been hustling and I've been fighting and I've been working so much I ain't lying. Love what I do, but Lord, I'm a dying just to be back in Jackson again. This music I'm playing has left me a-staying in places where I don't know where my head's a-laying. I love what I do, but Lord, I'm a-praying just to be back in Jackson again. Take me down 15 to the foothills of the mountains. Oh, how I'd love it so if I could sing my way back home. 'Cause as much as I cherish the places that I've traveled, I'm a little worn out and low in the saddle. I love what I do, and I'd swim and I'd paddle just to be back in Jackson again. When I go to sleep now, I dream of that old house up on the hill where the North Fork rolls down. I love what I do, but I'd drop it all right now just to be back in Jackson again. Take me down 15 to the foothills of the mountains. Oh, how I'd love it so if I could sing my way back home. 'Cause as much as I cherish the places that I've traveled, I'm a little worn out and low in the saddle. I love what I do, and I'd swim and I'd paddle just to be back in Jackson again. Just to be back in Jackson again. Just to be back in Jackson again.
Resolutions are, I guess, my first real band. I had played with musicians here and there, guitar players that would sit in with me, and all those people shaped me. And so I have some really great people. CJ Kane from the Wooks that's been on the show before I even had a clue what I was doing, and I still really don't. CJ helped me out and showed me the ropes, and so he was there for a brief stint, and then different drummers. And the chord that I have together now, I've been together almost 2 years, the whole group. And so if you've ever been in a band, it's kind of like being in a marriage. So you have your ups and downs, and you kind of figure each other out. They're special guys.
And right now, you all are not performing out much. You're doing something more on your own.
Yeah, it's kind of slowed down, which our bass player is in South America, and so
Yes, right.
He's had that blocked off for a while, and so I thought, well, this would be a good chance to play some new songs, do something stripped down. But I would say about 50-50 playing solo and with the band. It's hard traveling. They have jobs, and so it's hard getting everybody in one place to practice, much less to go play a gig out of town somewhere. So we do it as much as we can.
Have you been doing some songwriting over the course of the last year?
I have, yeah, quite a bit.
Has it been a good year that way for you?
Definitely. It's kind of fun trying to learn new instruments and see how that changes your songwriting and just life experiences, and try not to overthink it. I think that's an easy trap to get into as a songwriter, and so I've kind of drawn back as far as the music and the chords and some of the guitar, and trying to just focus on what I enjoyed about it at the beginning, just being creative and writing things that felt good, as opposed to putting too much focus on, oh, it has to sound this certain way, and just kind of being myself. And that's helped too, since I gave up my day job, because now a lot of times during the day I have time to sit around and play through things, whereas before it was go to work, come home and practice, come home and go to a gig. And so it was just kind of this cycle of, okay, I feel like I'm plateauing here. And so now I've had a little more time to dive into who I want to be as an artist and trying to make that happen.
We've been apart for so long now. It seems like it's been a month or two. You've been waiting so patiently when I've been thinking about you. So I will meet you up on Jason Ridge, and I'll hold you like I always did. And we can spend all day and all night side by side to the end of time. 'Cause time goes on if you break the clock, and life may end, but love won't stop. We can spend all day out on the bluff, keep an eye on things from up above. Far away but close enough to whisper sweet words when they need our love. So I will meet you up on Jason Ridge, and I'll hold you like I always did. And we can spend all day and all night side by side to the end of time. So I will meet you up on Jason Ridge, and I'll hold you like I always did. And we can spend our days and all our nights side by side to the end of time. 'Cause time goes on if you break the clock, and life may end, but love won't stop.
I would like to thank Grayson Jenkins for being with us this evening. And we thank our volunteers for their help with our production each week. And also those of you listening to our webcast, watching us on Facebook Live, and those listening to us on the Red Barn network of stations.
We also thank the members of our studio audience for supporting the mission of Red Barn Radio, which strives to present, promote, and preserve the rich musical tradition and artists of this Kentucky region and the South. Red Barn Radio comes to you from our home, the Performance Hall at Arts Place in downtown Lexington, Kentucky. Our website has updates and further information on our guests and our programs. We're on the web at redbarnradio.com. Tickets for Red Barn Radio are now available on the web at eventbrite.com, Lexington.
Who wants to hear one more song from Grayson Jenkins?
Take the ribbon from your head, shake it loose and let it fall. Lay it soft upon your skin, like the shadows on the wall. Come and lay down by my side to the early morning light. All I'm taking is your time, so help me make it through the night. And I don't care who's right or wrong, and I don't try to understand. Let the devil take tomorrow, 'cause tonight I need a friend. Yesterday is dead and gone, and tomorrow's out of sight. And it's sad to be alone, so help me make it through the night. I don't care who's right or wrong, and I don't try to understand. Let the devil take tomorrow, 'cause tonight I need a friend. Yesterday is dead and gone, and tomorrow's out of sight. It's so sad to be alone, so help me make it through the night. And I don't want to be alone, so help me make it through the night. Thank you all so much. Appreciate it.
Red Barn Radio would like to thank Grayson Jenkins for being with us tonight. We'd like to thank Sim's Pizzeria and Soda Fountain for supplying food each week for our musical guests and volunteers. Chef Greg Scott and Sim's Pizzeria and Ice Cream Parlor is located just minutes from Lexington in historic Wilmore, Kentucky. For more information, see Sim's Pizzeria and Soda Fountain on Facebook. The Bourbon Barrel Guitar Company and their master craftsman Mike Mankel, who creates amazing artistic and functionally superior electric guitars from reclaimed bourbon barrels. Mike's on Facebook and also on the web at bourbonbarrelguitar.com. The Twisted Cork, Lexington's only drive-through full-service liquor store and bar. They feature craft beer, wine, and all your favorites. The Twisted Cork has live music Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday nights and hosts the Red Barn Radio Open Mic every Sunday evening. Located at Partner Place, just off Clays Mill Road. For more information, they're on the web at twistedcorklex.com. Room 17 Productions, a nonprofit organization telling the story of Professor Emeritus Sarah Holroyd and promoting music education through oral history, preservation, and live performance. For more information, Room 17 Productions is on the web at room17productions.com. The rest is history. The Griffin Gate Marriott Resort and Spa is Red Barn Radio's guest accommodation partner, providing hotel accommodations for our musical guests. Located in the heart of bluegrass, horse, and bourbon country, the Griffin Gate Marriott Resort and Spa is the ideal choice for your next visit to Lexington, Kentucky. Red Barn Radio's executive producer is Ed Commons, who also directs our show. Red Barn Radio's line producer and booking manager is Warren Cobb. We also thank our volunteers. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. You can attend a Red Barn Radio concert in person. You'll find performance dates and times at redbarnradio.com. The Red Barn Radio playout theme, Wookie Foot, was taken from a live performance of the Wooks here on Red Barn Radio. For more information on the band, they're on the web at wookoutamerica.com. Thanks so much for listening. We'll be here again on this station next week at this same time as we celebrate the music of Kentucky. I'm the voice of Red Barn Radio, Tom Brown. Red Barn Radio is brought to you with the financial support of Visit Lex, Lexington, Kentucky's Convention and Visitors Bureau. Planning to visit Lexington or just looking for more information, Visit Lex is on the web at visitlex.com. We're more than just bluegrass. Lex Arts, Lexington, Kentucky's Arts Council, creating a great American city inspired by the arts. Red Barn Radio is a production of Red Barn Radio, LLC.